Max Q.
There we just had Max Q. So with that call out, we now have 3 events coming up in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by Stage Sep, and then SES-1. MECO, or main engine cutoff, is where all 9 M1D engines shut off to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first and second stages separate from one another. Then Stage 2 will continue to Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1, and that is where the single MVAC engine lights up and propels the second stage to orbit.
Kill.
In addition to these 3 major events, the fairing halves will separate less than a minute after SES-1, so keep an eye out for all of those events.
Vehicle is following a
coming
nominal
up
trajectory
in around 30 seconds from now. And as a reminder, we will not have any Stage 2 views of separation at the request of our customer.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
And we have confirmation of main engine cutoff and stage separation,
MVAC
SES-1,
startup.
coming up in a few seconds. There it is. We are expecting to hear the call out for fairing separation in a couple seconds from now, but we won't see this. We will be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves once they fall back down to Earth using our recovery ship, Go Beyond.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And we just confirmed fairing separation. And you also heard and maybe even saw those 3 events that happened back to back, which again were MECO, stage separation, SES-1, followed about 30 seconds later by fairing separation. We'll be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves again today back on Earth with our recovery vessel, Go Beyond. And coming up in about 3 minutes from now, the booster will initiate its entry burn to begin its journey
nominal trajectories
to the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship that is currently in the Pacific Ocean. Great call out there. We're just at T plus 4.5 minutes into today's mission, and just past the T plus 6 minute mark, you should see on your screen the first stage's entry burn. So to start the entry burn, we will relight 3 of our M1D engines, engines 1, 5, and 9, which is similar to pumping the brakes to slow down the vehicle as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. We need to slow it down to reduce the reentry forces, which then helps us recover and reuse the first stage. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but we're still moving really fast. And this causes the rocket to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, which is also known as the plume, and that deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle. And that soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, that soot continues to build up on the outside of the vehicle. That entry burn should be coming up in about 20 seconds from now.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
So entry burn has begun, and we have lit engines 1, 5, and 9 to slow down the vehicle.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And we just completed our entry burn. And coming up next in about a minute will be landing burn.
Stage 1 FTS has saved.
The Merlins on the first stage are optimized for
Both
sea
vehicles
level.
continue to follow nominal trajectories.
And these achieve around 190,000 pounds of thrust each during ascent and descent. And for landing burn, we use just one of these, engine 9, to slow the vehicle down just before touching down on our drone ship.
Stage 1 transonic.
But coming up next, we'll shut
Stage 2
down
FTS is saved.
We'll shut down our MVAC engine on the second stage, which will be followed quickly by our landing burn on the first stage.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
An awesome
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
An awesome view of our Stage 1 that is now landed back on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. This was the 16th launch and landing for this first stage, and this landing marks SpaceX's 310th recovery of an orbital class rocket, including first stage landings for Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. And with that landing, we will bring today's webcast to a close. Thank you to the National Reconnaissance Office for entrusting us with today's mission. And if you're interested in learning in more launch coverage, be sure to check out spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information. Today's mission marks SpaceX's 347th overall mission to date and 52nd mission of the year. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.